Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. I hope your day, your week, and your weekend have been going very well so far. Week 8 of the NFL season is officially upon us, and with that comes another edition of Sunday Night Football. In this week's matchup, we have the Aaron Rodgers Bowl. The Green Bay Packers on the road taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers in a rematch of the 2010/11 Super Bowl, however many years ago that was, and what should be a really fun and exciting and revenge-filled, maybe, Sunday Night Football game. And as always, guys, I got some really great picks to go ahead and share with you. But first, as always, people, please make sure to go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, and drop a comment down below. It helps the channel grow, and it really does mean a ton to us. With a new day, a new Sunday, a new week of NFL football comes some new opportunities to go ahead and make some money. I have 3 picks to share with you guys in today's video. We have a spread pick, we have a total pick, and we have an anytime touchdown player prop to close out the video. And if you guys have been here before, you know that every single week we do an anytime touchdown player prop giveaway contest. It never gets any easier to say it. It never gets any shorter to say it. The rules are very simple. I'm going to give you guys a player prop for anytime touchdown at the end of the video. Comment the name of that player, and if that player scores a touchdown, one lucky commenter will win a free $25 Amazon gift card. It's that easy. It's that simple. Really looking forward to this one, guys. I will acknowledge, obviously, last week we had a very bad week in that Falcons-Niners game. We missed the mark completely, but we had 2 previous very good weeks leading into that one. So, bad week last week. Hopefully, we'll turn around here in this game. I really have a strong position on this game that I like a lot, so let's go ahead and talk about it. All right, guys, getting right after it here, our first pick in today's video is the spread pick. I'm going with the Pittsburgh Steelers here as the home dogs on Sunday Night Football, plus 3.5. We'll jump over to the outlier screen as well as the NFL dashboard on Guy Boston Sports to break this game down. So Steelers plus 3.5, best odds available to me, minus 122 over on FanDuel. Of course, a lot of different sports books for varying odds. Make sure to shop around for the best sportsbook odds available to you. I'm going to go ahead and address the obvious here. You have Mike Tomlin as a home dog after a loss. That should be enough said. That should be enough to just close the video. You've heard what you need to hear. Go bet the Steelers. I have a couple numbers here from Brandon Anderson over at Action Network that kind of break down perfectly what I'm talking about here. He writes that first and foremost, from week 5 forward as an underdog, Mike Tomlin is 51-23-1. That's a 69, pause for applause, 69% hit rate against the spread, covering by 3.5 points per game. Okay, so that's just as an underdog from week 5 on in his career as the head coach of the Steelers, 51-23-1 against the spread. Pretty damn good. In that same data range, looking at when they are underdogs of 7 points or fewer at home, this is now narrowing it down a little bit, 7 points or fewer at home post week 5. They are 18-4-1 against the spread. That's an 82% hit rate, including 16-7 straight up in those games, okay? So really, really good. Also under Tomlin, coming off a loss where they give up at least 28 points, the Steelers are 40-16-2 against the spread. That's a 71% hit rate. There are way more numbers out there, but you have Mike Tomlin as a home dog. Extended rest as well. Obviously, they played on Thursday Night Football against the Bengals. That was a tough loss there. The defense did not look very good for Pittsburgh, but they have some extra rest coming into this game at home, Sunday Night Football. So a lot of stuff looking in the favor of Pittsburgh in this spot. And again, I'm not picking the money line here. I'm just picking them to cover, and plus 3.5 is the key number. If this dips inside of 3, like 2.5, for example, I wouldn't take it. Now, I am recording this video on Thursday. This video is coming out Sunday morning. I'm going to New Orleans this weekend, so unfortunately, I couldn't record it later in the week. I can still get it plus 3.5 from minus 122. I can't promise that line will be the same come Sunday. If it does change, I do apologize. I'd bet it up to 3. Bet it up to 3, and if it does switch there to 2.5, I would either lean Green Bay or just not touch the spread at all and just focus on the total and some player props. But plus 3.5 is a key number in this spot. The Steelers have cashed plus 3.5 in every game except for the Seahawks game this year. So win or lose, they've been in every game they've played. They have a 50% cover rate overall this year. Green Bay have covered minus 3.5 at a 67% hit rate, so pretty good. However, looking at the overall spread numbers, it's a 33% hit rate against the spread this year. So Green Bay, not a very good coverage team. They actually have not covered the spread since week 2 at Washington Commanders on Thursday Night Football. Jumping over to the dashboard over on Guy Boston Sports for some more numbers to go ahead and share with you guys here. First and foremost, the Pittsburgh Steelers do blitz at a very high rate, 4th highest rate in the NFL. Jordan Love versus the blitz this year has not been that great. Now, he hasn't been awful necessarily, but you look at his overall numbers, you do see a lot of them drop. His completion percentage, interception percentage, his EPA, all those numbers decrease, which obviously is very good for us. Now, the other number to look at for Pittsburgh's defense is their man coverage frequency rate, which is the 4th highest frequency rate in the NFL. Jordan Love struggles much more against man than he does against zone. You see versus man, his attempts go, I mean, obviously that's attempts, so, overall lower sample size, but his yards, they go down. Completion percentage goes down. Interception percentage goes up. His EPA goes down. A lot of numbers change in the negative for Jordan Love versus man and versus blitz, where the Steelers obviously frequent. Pittsburgh also 17th in frequency rate for pressure, which is not that high, but it's not nothing. And obviously Jordan Love, that's been his worst number versus pressure this year. He has been a disaster. So hopefully Pittsburgh can bring some more pressure in this spot with their pass rush. Now on the flip side, Green Bay defensively likes to run more zone, the 14th highest frequency in the NFL in terms of zone. Aaron Rodgers versus zone this year has been very dominant. It's also the highest sample size. He has a 75% completion percentage against zone, 9.1 yards per attempt. His DVOA number, 4.9%. Everything was very, very good against zone, which is where Green Bay likes to run defensively. Not a lot of man, and man is where you kind of go ahead and beat Aaron Rodgers. Also, their pressure rank is middle of the road, and that's obviously where Rodgers struggles the most versus pressure. That's the one real key area I'm concerned for Pittsburgh in this game is how will Green Bay, with that pass rush with Micah Parsons, everything, how will they go ahead and attack the Pittsburgh offense? And that's the biggest concern because Rodgers at this point in his career, obviously, he's not moving around too much. And I did mention at the top of the video, though, but I'll say it again. This is the Aaron Rodgers revenge game. First time playing the Packers since leaving Green Bay. Now, I don't know how much it will. Obviously, the Jets game in the beginning of the year, he obviously has some beef with the Jets. I don't know how much beef he has with the team that he spent the majority of his career with, but I'm sure you go into this game wanting to win. And obviously, Mike Tomlin, they lose in the Super Bowl to the Packers way back when. Mike Tomlin, those things don't just go away, right? If you're a real competitor, that doesn't go away. Tomlin really wants to win this game. Rodgers really wants to win this game. I think it's going to be close. Green Bay's offense, to me, I know from a numbers perspective, they're not bad, but they haven't been that sharp for me. I mean, if you look at the numbers, besides the Dallas game, every other game, 27, 27, 10, 27, 27. That's not terrible. Again, 7th in the NFL in terms of 26.3 points per game. They are scoring at a decent rate, but they're not like this otherworldly offense. Their numbers make it out to be they're one of the best offenses in the league, but if you actually watch them, they're kind of clunky. Now, I think they will get better, but they're still figuring some things out. The wide receiver room is still not great. They're starting to get rookie Matthew Golden more involved. Josh Jacobs in the running game, it's been fine, but not as good as it was last year. And Jordan Love has his moments. So I just don't think this offense has been all that great. Now, granted, Pittsburgh's defense has been a problem. Their passing defense in particular has been very, very bad this year. You saw Joe Flacco dice them up through the air. That's a big concern here. And it sounds crazy what I'm about to say, but right now, I would take Joe Flacco in that Bengals offense over this Packers offense. I'm going to get a lot of slack for that, but I would take the veteran quarterback who's proven with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and Chase Brown and all those pieces over Jordan Love with a wide receiver room that has no one even in the same area code as Jamar Chase or T. Higgins. I don't think that Green Bay can do the same thing that Cincinnati just did. I don't think they have the weapons nor the passing offense style to do what Cincinnati just did to Pittsburgh 10 days ago. So I really don't think this is going to be a similar game in that regard. I don't think you're going to see Green Bay score 30-plus points here. On the flip side, we know Green Bay defensively, they are pretty good. However, their pass defense has shown some vulnerability. Pittsburgh's passing offense has been pretty damn good overall. You saw in the Bengals game, they can put up points, and we've seen Green Bay. They gave up 40 points to Dallas. Now, Pittsburgh's passing offense is not Dallas's passing offense, but the Steelers have proven that Rodgers, he can still get the ball out. He still got something left in the tank there. Quick releases, a lot of quick passes. I think Pittsburgh can hang around. Again, I'm not picking the money line here. I'm saying that they have a good enough offense, and I think that their defense still has enough pop. They can keep this game tight at home. Tomlin, again, with that home field coaching advantage. Pittsburgh 7-2 against the spread in their last 9 games at home. A lot of great metrics. The Aaron Rodgers revenge factor. All these things point to me to Pittsburgh, and that plus 3.5 is such a key number. So that's what I'm rocking with for my first pick in today's video. For my second pick, kind of piggybacking off of the points I just made, I'm rocking with the over here, 44.5, which I'm grabbing for minus 117 over on Novik. Both these teams cashing the over at a very high rate. This specific over in general, you see Pittsburgh has cashed the over of 44.5 in 67% of their games this year. Only the Cleveland game and the New England game, they failed to cash the over. And for Green Bay, also a 67% hit rate on this over line of 44.5. Only the Cleveland game being the common denominator between the two. And the week 1 against the Lions, the only two that didn't cash the over. So these are two teams that have been giving up decent amount of points and scoring a lot of points. Look at Green Bay last week versus Arizona. They scored 27 points against a pretty weak Cardinals defense, but they also gave up 23 points to Jacoby Brissett and the Cardinals. Micah Parsons had 3 sacks, and the defense does look good from a pass rush perspective. But they are still giving up a decent amount of points. The Bengals had 18. The Cowboys had 40. The Cardinals had 23. If Jacoby Brissett and the Cardinals can score 23 points, why can't Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers add 27? Somewhere in that ballpark, right? So I really do think the over is a good bet here because, again, Pittsburgh's defense isn't great. Green Bay will score their points. If you asked me in the preseason, I would have said the under was a good play here because these are two really strong defensive teams. But honestly, both defenses have shown some weakness and both offenses are capable of scoring some points. So I think the over 44.5 is a very strong bet in this spot. Real quick, guys, before we wrap up with our third and final play in today's video, I want to talk to you very quickly about the sponsor of today's video, Novig. Guys, if you have not dabbled into peer-to-peer exchanges, you are absolutely missing out. Using Novig allows you to get unbeatable prices and lines on just about every game. Why? Because there's other users setting the lines. They're setting the odds. You're competing with other users, not the big books. Peer-to-peer is growing at a crazy rate, and you don't want to be late to this. Sign up for Novig today using the link down below in the description as well as in the pinned comment, and you'll get a nice sign-up bonus of up to $50 as well. Check it out. It operates just like your normal sports book, just with better lines. Shout out to Novig for sponsoring today's video, and again, check the link down below in the description or the pinned comment. All right, guys, wrapping things up here, our third and final pick in today's video. We have our anytime touchdown player prop here, and I'm going with DK Metcalf anytime touchdown, which I'm grabbing for plus 145, best odds available to me over on FanDuel. So again, comment Metcalf or DK Metcalf, any variation of that down below in the comments. And if DK scores a touchdown, one lucky commenter will win a free $25 Amazon gift card. So DK, he has scored this, he has cashed this line and scored a touchdown in 4 of 6 games this year. That is a 67% hit rate on the season, averaging 0.67 touchdown receptions per game. So pretty good numbers across the board here. In the last 5 games, you narrow it down. For the last 5, he's cashed this line and has scored a touchdown. Obviously, he is the number 1 target in this offense. 36 targets, it's a 21.7% target share. In the red zone, number 1, tied for number 1 with Darnell Washington, a 17.4% target share in the red zone. So DK, he has been the main target of Rodgers, the main touchdown guy for Rodgers this year. So him to score a touchdown, and you're getting plus money too, I think it's pretty good value. Now, Green Bay overall only giving up 2.2 touchdowns per game. However, versus wide receivers, a little bit better, 0.8 per game. That is 12th in the league. Not a great matchup per se, but DK is one of the better wide receivers in the NFL. He has some experience against the Packers as well. I do think he can go ahead and score a touchdown. Now, look at the last few games here. Arizona, not a lot of wide receivers scored, or any wide receivers scored touchdowns. Jamar Chase did, though. George Pickens had 2. You keep going down. Deebo Samuel had 1. And Isaac Tesla had 1. The one key thing I'm looking at here, guys, is a lot of the top guys. Jamar Chase had 1. Pickens, who at the time was the wide receiver, 1 because CeeDee Lamb was out. He had 2. Okay. You go down here, Deebo Samuel, he had 1. I believe McLaurin was out in this game, or he was banged up. Oh, no, McLaurin did play. But obviously he was, coming off that whole holdout and whatnot. The key thing to point out here is that a couple of the big guys, the number 1 or number 2 targets, have scored touchdowns. DK being one of the number 1 targets, I think he can go ahead and get touchdowns. I don't think there is a corner on the Packers who can kind of match up with DK in a way that slows him down. So I do like the spot a lot for DK Metcalf. Again, plus 145, very good value. All right, guys, that is it for me today. Thank you very much, as always, for watching. One more time, please make sure to go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, and drop a comment down below. I got to go catch a flight to New Orleans. Going to go see Saints Bucks on Sunday, LSU A&M on Saturday, and Pelicans Spurs on Friday. So great weekend plan. I apologize for the earlier recording date, so I know the lines might change. I apologize for that. Do the best you can to make those adjustments depending on how the lines change and move. Until next week, guys, I hope you're all winners. Let's go ahead and make some money.